What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you a way to swap between first and third person using your PS5 controller, so you don't have to use a keyboard just to swap. If you have any other controller, keep watching anyway, because I'll try to help as much as I can. I'll divide the video in 3 steps. In step 1, we're going to configure the cheat engine. In step 2, we're going to map your PS5 controller. And in step 3, I'm going to try to help you set up any other controller. So I'm assuming you already have the mod. So the first thing you want to do is open up the cheat engine like you would usually do when you use it. It doesn't matter if you already have the game running or not. Hit right click on first person and click set change hotkeys. If you never made any changes, it probably says Control plus Shift plus 0. Select it and click edit hotkey. Next, click on clear and change it to /. I'll explain why later. Hit apply and OK. So now whenever you hit the /, it will swap between third person and first person. Make sure you save it and always use this saved cheat engine file whenever you use the mod, so it already has the hotkey changes you just made to it. Okay, now we gotta map the // to a button on your controller, and to do this you need to download a program called Autohotkey. Click the link in the description and finish this straightforward installation process. Next, you have to download the Autohotkey file in my description. After downloading the file, all you have to do is double click it, and that's it. After double clicking it, it doesn't notify you. But to be sure that you've done it right, you can double click it again, and a message will pop up saying an instance of this script is already running and asking if you want to replace it. You can just click yes. Now this file is programmed in a way to whenever you hit the mute button on your controller, it will trigger the / on your computer. And because we set the first person hotkey in the cheat engine to the /, it will trigger the first person swap. Just make sure you always activate the hotkey file by double clicking it every time you use the mod. Now that basically wraps it up. It should work. However, if you're not satisfied with the mute button being the swap trigger, or you have another controller other than the PS5 controller, keep watching. Go to the Autohotkey file, click the right mouse button, and click Open with Notepad. Now as you can see, it says Joy 15. Now Joy 15 is the number that corresponds to the mute button on my PlayStation controller. To find a button that fits your preference and controller, it's going to be a trial and error process because I don't have a list of what number corresponds to your controller. But to test out what works, you can temporarily change the number after Joy to whatever number you think is the corresponding number to the button you want to use. And you might think, so I just have to guess? Well, yes and no. Keep in mind that the low numbers like 1, 2, 3, and 4 are usually the face buttons of your controller, and 5, 6, 7, 8 are most likely the trigger buttons on your controller. And since those are probably already in use, I suggest you start this trial and error process with number 9. So that's the example we're going to use. Next, change the / to a random letter. I'll pick B. To follow along, I suggest you do the same. After doing so, go to File, hit Save or Control S. You don't have to close this window. Now double click the hotkey file again. It might say that an instance of this script is already running and ask you if you want to replace it. Click yes. Go back to Notepad, and now just press every button on your controller until the letter B pops up. Now you know what button responds to Joy 9. If you don't like it to be that button, maybe change it to Joy 10, or 11, or 12. Keep repeating the same process until you find the number that corresponds to the button that you want to use. Just don't forget that every time you make a change, you have to save it and double-click the hotkey file to activate it. Now once you finally find the number that you want to use, change the letter B back to the /. Go to File again, save it. You can now close this window and double-click the hotkey file again to activate it. You should now be up and running. Now, hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, you can thank me by clicking this video. Peace.